Hello, beauties. DL here with Intimate Sanctuary. Such a pleasure to design and spend precious time with you again. If this is our first encounter, I greet you with love. Welcome.
You know what time it is. It is Aries. And I've chosen to take last year's candle holder and fill it with a candle I received from a painter friend of mine who gifted me this beautiful gem when she came back from her travels to Switzerland. Amazing, right? I would love to have her as a featured artist later this year, so let's keep our fingers crossed for that. What's so exciting about this year is that I get to break open a new bullet journal. This is literally one of my favorite things to do and completely in alignment with this season, which is all about new beginnings. Now I'm going to do something a little different this year and begin our journey with the featured artist of Aries, which is none other than writer Carol, the creator of the Bullet Journal, and the Bullet Journal University team, aka Bujo U. I had the extraordinary opportunity to be a part of the 2025 cohort taught by writer Carol himself, and now I am officially a Bullet Journal certified practitioner, having acquired the in-depth philosophy behind the system. Yeah, I'm not excited about it. So, to put what I have learned to practice, I am beginning by breaking open my new bullet journal. This is a method that writer teaches, and I have linked the video below to check out the purpose behind this process. Now, let me take this moment to say that bulletjournal.com is not sponsoring this video. I am simply in awe of what I've personally experienced. If bullet journaling has helped your journey in any way, give yourself the greatest gift and join the Bujo cohort. Yes, you will learn all about the system, but more importantly, you will learn how to heal yourself from the inside out and map out the dreams you've always had inside. This is the most transformative experience. All right, my notebook spine is set up for longevity, and it is time to get into these pages. So let's go. Now, before I could start creating in this new bullet journal, I had to go through all of my old notebooks cover to cover and evaluate what is going to be transferred into this new bullet journal, also known in the bullet journal language as migrating. So let's talk about that. If you are getting some creative value out of this, which I hope you are, definitely bang that like and subscribe button, and let's keep going, shall we? Now, here's the deal. I had no idea how much I was out of alignment with following the bullet journal method until I got into this cohort training. It really opened my eyes. But first, let's talk about the pens I'm using. A calligraphy artist friend of mine gifted me this pen, her favorite pen, the Pigma Micron 03, when I completed my practitioner's training, and I wanted to feature it in this video. So thank you so much, Miss Carol. I really appreciate you. I'm also using the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen, the letter M as in Mary, the number 1,5, and later on I will also be using the letter B as in bodacious, and my Jelly Roll 08 whiteout pen. So this spread is called the chapter log. This is what you're supposed to fill out after you complete going through your last chapter, aka your old bullet journal. Now, since I was not following the method, this process was a little crazy for me. My index was basically non-existent, and I fell prey to honestly just diary writing, so I decided to go and set up the chapter log in this bullet journal for when the chapter is complete, so that I can really just get into this experience. You write down what's working, or in my case, what's working well. And I use the word inert for me, which means lacking liveliness instead of not working. And on the other page is more of and less of what I want to experience emotionally for the next chapter. Now, on this spread, you'll see that I'm going to use my Faber-Castell letter B. And this spread is called the Written Reflection. This is where I get to actually diary write and reflect on my takeaways for the end of this chapter. I gave myself a couple of pages for this because I do really love to write. I'm really looking forward to this actually because it'll be the first time I'm actually really reflecting on what I've experienced in my life. It won't be what I remember or what I ruminate on, and I say that with no judgment. Like, I'm really like, it will actually be what happened in my life from my own words. To me, that is going to be absolutely exciting, and I'm really looking forward to what this chapter unfolds. Now we get to go to the front, and I am creating a This Chapter Belongs To page. Now, here I really had to evaluate whether or not I was going to stick with my old logo, with the logo that I use for my introduction, or follow my heart and claim my name. I chose to go with DL at first because it was easier to say, but what feels truthful for me is acknowledging my first name, which is Daisica. So from the next video forward, the new logo that I will be using will be this one. This new logo will signify my first name, and I will be introducing myself as Daisica instead of DL. So my intention with this video is to set myself up for success by committing to utilizing the 5 core collections of the bullet journal system. And the first one is the index. And I cannot lie to you, this one is an Achilles heel for me. I like to just write and keep on going. Oh wait, I gotta stop here because I messed up here. I got so upset. I tried to turn this into like a vine thing, and then I tried to do leaves, but it turned into like thorns, and I just forget it. So I just kept on going. Anyway, this chapter, I'm going to concentrate on keeping a record of the entries I create and putting them into my index so that the next chapter I am able to fully reflect on my experiences with organized ease. So I am very excited for that. So the next spread is for intentions. I've told you what my intention is for the video, but a huge part of the bullet journal system is setting your intention for what your chapter will be anchored onto. This is really important, not necessarily a part of the core collections, but it really helps you to keep in alignment, have authenticity and integrity on your journey throughout this chapter. For the year title page, I really wanted to keep this simple. I knew I was going to put some pizzazz to the design, but as I thought about what to do, I noticed that my attention was zeroing in, no pun intended, on the zero. To me, it reminds me of one of the key bullets in the system, which is events. Every action I take and how I perceive the action that happened lead to an event in my life that either moves me away or toward the life I dream. So I take this as a sign from the universe to take care of my actions and my word so that the story that I'm telling is in alignment with what I'm writing as well as who I desire to become. So I'm really excited that zero came into my focus with that aspect in mind. I'm counting these bullets because I'm actually going to take this little piece and turn it into my grid measurement page. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use that for this because this is not necessarily a creative bullet journal, but I still wanted to have it just in case. So that's why I have that. Now, another important element in keeping in alignment with the method is keeping in mind what my values are. So I will write those here alongside a little letter to myself. It's like a little Dear Abby page, but it's really just to myself to say, hey, Daisika, this is who I am in the beginning of this chapter, and I love you, and I want you to have a good time. And of course, I'll put some personal things in there, but I really just wanted to have a little set space for me to write a letter to myself that I can look back on when I'm writing my written reflection. And also, I wanted to make a key page. There are a lot of bullets and signifiers that go along with the bullet journal method. And for me, I wanted to keep record of that, along with any bullets that I create for myself, because I know that I like to use a lot of hearts. That's like my thing. It's my Jimmy Jam. So I know I'm going to use hearts. So I just wanted to have that for myself. Now, the second core collection is called the Future/Yearly Log. I really believe I'm going to go through this chapter pretty quickly. I mean, when I'm doing daily logs, which I've never really shown on this channel, but when I do daily logs, I get really, really, really messy. And I just feel like I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. But I know that writer Carol came out with this new format that is a yearly log where you can see the whole year at a glance. I might do some version of that, even if I do go through a chapter pretty quickly, because it is good to just be able to see everything that's happening within that year, especially if you already have things set up and things that you really want to experience. So 6 months might not be enough, but we'll see. I just want to start off with this. Oh, messed up again. Okay. So, yeah. I love, even my hands just are so expressive. I love it. You're actually supposed to start off with the month that's after the month you're starting with. So this month is April, and I was supposed to do May, but I don't know. I was just thinking of, I'm starting off my future log. So of course it's January. Not even close. So anyway, this chapter, I am focused on just doing the months. It's already going to be enough of a practice to keep up with the 5 core collections. So I wanted to make it as simple as possible on myself and just make this chapter itself about the months. But I will come back and set up for the zodiac signs and themes, which I love to do, once I get a real hold on the method. I'm not going to lie, I might actually do a creative bullet journal and another bullet journal that's just for doing the method like this one, but we'll see. And as you saw, I whited out the January, but it did not dry quickly enough. So I went on to the monthly log and the action page, so we can talk about that. The monthly log is set up not as a calendar of the things that you have planned to do. That's actually for the action plan page. But the monthly log is actually set up for you to track what actually occurred that day. They're really like the highlight of that day, so that you can keep it as simple as possible and really understand what you're experiencing throughout your month. So I'm filling out April, and how you set up your monthly log is by putting the days 1 through whatever it may be. In this case, it's going to be 1 through 30. And then next to it on the right, you put the first letter of the day. And every day, if you can, you go back and put in what the highlight of that day was. Now, sometimes, of course, life kind of gets busy and it's just doing its thing, but you go back, especially during your weekly reflections, to fill out those pages if you've missed any. And I like to signify where the weeks are. I start my week on Monday, so that's why I'm making lines so that I can see when the next weeks are coming up. Now, I went back so that I could go on and fill this out. And I just love my Jelly Roll pen because it does beautiful things. I mean, it doesn't even really look like January. It doesn't even look like January was there. So I love that. You guys, we did it. We went through it all. We had the chapter log, which I cannot wait to fill out at the end of this chapter because I will be so organized and ready to fill it out. And then we have the written reflection, which will be such a fun time to just write and reflect and be with my thoughts about how I experienced the chapter. And my introductory, which will be Daisica from now on, that is signified in this, the chapter belongs to, along with the signature that I will have. And then we have the index, which I am going to be a part of this. I am going to do it, and it's going to be well. Again, practice makes perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but it's the practice that's all about the process. And my yearly page, which I really want to keep simple. I might do some doodles afterwards, not sure, but I just want to focus on that O for events. And my dear Daisica, along with my values.
And my key.
And the future log with my corrected May. And I will fill out those as I go along in my journey. And then the monthly log and action plan.
We will go over the last 2 core collections, the daily and weekly logs, next month, once I've been able to collect an efficient amount of data within this new chapter. So I look forward to going over that with you guys. I've also linked below videos of Writer Carol describing how to set up your new chapter in detail. So definitely check that out if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the philosophy from the creator himself.
You guys, thank you for going on this trip with me. You have been amazing. I hope that you have the most incredible rest of your month. I will see you next time. Until then, au revoir.